I thought, I'm like, I hope they don't get to film TikTok in prison, do they?
Well, that's what we're wondering, because how are these prisoners meeting these people they're burying?
Well, yeah,
Lauren,
and so, yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a quick question. Lauren, do you have on your ring light?
No.
Okay.
She looks great.
I know, I was just sitting here thinking, like, because I'm looking at myself, and in my mind, I thought I just charged my little ring light for this. I'm like, I wonder if I would look prettier. And then I saw,
I don't have any light in my house.
No, what'd you just turn on?
It's the ring light.
Oh, so you have had it on.
He was not. You can tell by the shadow binder.
She has her ring light on.
Light on.
What? My house doesn't have any light.
Mel,
you wouldn't see me.
You're very nicely lit. What are you doing?
Thank you. It's called hot flashes.
Oh. All right. I'm sorry. I got off track.
No, you know what? I do have a ring light here, but I didn't have time to plug it in. This is
you have the same one we do. Jen and I have that one.
And doesn't it look like something from the OBGYN, office?
They do use that. Yep.
So so when I was in the therapy appointment, I was like so hot, and I'm like, my face is all red, and I'm like, oh, there's a hot flash, But this therapist, I love the dog. I love Popeye. Popeye's pretty cool. And then she's like, oh, go give Melanie some Popeye love. And, she
And you pay for this?
So that's what the therapist said. Oh, go give Melanie some Popeye love.
And he sits in my lap and I pet him.
I think this sounds great. This is a perfect scenario.
And then one time, okay, I'll just end on this with the therapist thing. So, like I said, I really like her, but she's obsessed with a dog. I mean, I know what it's like. I mean, I have a dog, but she's obsessed. So she's just like, one time she had taken. Let me remember the story now. Okay, so there's an animal. People can talk to animals, right? Mm-hmm. So she found somebody in Utah, now we live in California, and she sent the picture of Popeye to this woman, and the woman wrote up what Popeye was thinking.
I've been on a podcast with this person. There's a lady that was on a podcast with a girl from The Bachelor, and she was reading. She got the dog, so they got the dog from like Korea through the Buddies Bunnies program, and it's like a bunch of golden retrievers that they bring over to the U.S. They say they rescue, and then people in the U.S. adopt them, and they have a quarantine period. Well, this woman, I don't remember her name, but she was on the phone, like Zooming with them, because I think it was during lockdown. Maybe it was earlier before, but she Zoomed and was like, Ramen would like you to know that he loves the way you tuck him in at night, and like that's a career to be in. Doggy psychic,
yeah, that's what.
Remember the woman on Sirius Radio that used to be the dog psychic or the pet psychic, and she'd be like, "Oh yeah." People would call in about their dog, and she's like, "Oh yeah, Benji's so excited when you come
Sonia Fitzpatrick,
and Benji's so excited when you give him treats." And like, that's every dog, lady. Like,
I know. Well, I want to know, because the dog was talking to her. Does she have to know Korean? Because the dog's from Korea.
Oh, that is an excellent question.
I think dog language transcends language.
All right. So can I tell you a quick story? So Danielle's cat passed away. Oh, it's been a while, probably maybe 6 years. So she loved her cat. I mean, she's a lesbian and she loved her cat. So, I had a friend, which I haven't spoke to in a long time, but she was like this kooky animal person. And she said, you can have this woman talks to dead pets. Like she would talk to and Danielle wanted to talk to Daisy. and say, did I do the right thing by putting you to sleep? She wanted answers. She she longed for these answers. So she emails this woman, and her email is, my girlfriend's email has the word Daisy in her email, okay? And that was the cat's name. And Danielle started set this up. The woman charged like $90, and she was going to do the seance over the phone, okay?
Oh my God,
the seance over the phone with the dead cat, okay? This is like some Pet Cemetery shit, okay? And she mentioned to Danielle something about, seeing daisies. And Danielle's like, it's my love bug. It's Daisy. And then the rest, I don't know. It was just like nothing else. Like, if, that with this. And I said, let's think about the email that you emailed her with the fucking name Daisy in it. Okay. And she was like, you're right. She wasn't really talking to Daisy. So it's okay. Do you remember the crazy ass lady that was the pet psychic that used to be on Sirius Radio?
I literally was just talking about this while you were getting
Sonia Fitzpatrick.
Oh, sorry. I was getting my ring light because I wanted to be pretty like you guys. How do I look?
Beautiful.
So pretty.
Very nice. Very nice.
So, okay. What was her name?
Sonia Fitzpatrick.
She was a nut.
Was she really?
You guys, is that the lady that was she like way out there?
Yeah. Everything is like, oh my God. He says he's so excited when you get home from work at night. And when you scratch his ears, it's just the best thing in the world. He's such a happy dog.
Well, I felt very comforted.
The cat loves it when you give it treats. Of course it does. Like, what?
Oh, he loves when you let him outside to go poo-poo.
Well, I felt very confident that Popeye told the woman,
oh boy,
in Utah, that he likes going to work with my therapist and that he hears all the stories and he won't repeat it to anybody.
You need a
very
new
important that the dog.
Mel.
This is not healthy.
And how is your insurance pay this woman, or are you paying her with your hard-earned dollars?
Like an actual office, or is this like
where is this happening now?
A van, the lady opens her doors and you just go in.
It's an Uber driver.
It's an Uber driver.
You probably get better therapy from an Uber driver.
Hop in an Uber. It's just like taxi cab confessions. You hop in an Uber.
Yes.
And
oh my God.
Sarah, can you go talk to a bartender? They're usually good with advice.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, she's a great therapist. I was just like, when she was telling me this, I was just like, okay, what do I do? She's turned nuts.
Yeah, that's one word for it.
Oh my God.
I almost think the woman wrote her a letter. She did the same thing. She didn't.
My God.
Yeah. So she's been good to me, I guess. I don't know. And I just thought, because she's always saying, well, that's why I have Papa, there's, and I thought, oh my God, she's going to like marry her dog. And,
Mel.
Yeah.
She sounds cuckoo.
I've made progress though. Okay.
As long as you feel like it's working, I'm okay. But I'll tell you, yeah, I mean, I know a few therapists, and they were like, why do you think we went into the business? Because we're crazy.
Well, the funny thing is I had a therapist that would fall asleep. And I was just kind of like, am I that boring? She was older. And then I had another therapist that would fart. It was just her and I in the room. And not the same one with Popeye. Maybe it wasn't, she couldn't blame the dog or anything.
Blame the dog, right?
But my ex-husband would be like, oh, I never liked her. It was very passive aggressive how she would fart during therapy. And I'm like, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you're just like, how is that passive aggressive, the fart? Sometimes they just pop out, right? Farts pop out. Do you ever have those farts that just come out?
Not usually.
It could
No,
happen.
Cindy, yes, right? Pop,
It could happen. Pop. Yeah.
Like,
But, I mean, that's when you need.
Medication, like every time you're in therapy.
can
No.
really control your farts when you're around people. Like,
okay. But if you don't fart, then you're gonna explode, I heard.
well, that took a turn.
All right, listen. I want to know. I want to know what. All right, what do they say in therapy? Like I've gone to therapists and like it's just like they just want to like chat about stupid stuff. I'm like, what are you talking? Why am I here?
Right. I'm like, I feel like I hear these stories about people going to therapy and they like have all these aha moments and they're crying and they're like, I was traumatized at 5 and now I'm a whole person. And I'm like, I feel like I don't know how therapy works. I'm not doing it right.
I had to go. I was forced to go for my weight loss surgery. So I had to go to the fat camp therapist. And I'm like, all right, let's figure out. She's going to like really like, we're going to figure out everything. And this, like, she does this for a living. Okay. She talks to fatties. You'd think she was like the #1 qualified fatty therapist in Rochester. And I had to go for my step, to complete that. And I was like, I remember going there and she was like asking like about, oh, you have kids. What do they do? Oh, so cute. And it was just like, I'm just like sitting here chatting. Like, no, bitch, why do I eat? Like, hello, what? I don't understand.
No, was she, I wanted to ask, this is kind of weird to ask, but I have to ask, was she really skinny or was she overweight? I mean, could she relate?
She was the size of this. She was a skinny.
She had the surgery?
No, but I think she did eating disorders, whether you were obese or anorexic. She was all of them.
I imagine that's a hard field to be in and like not be aware. Like I would think you don't want someone who's like morbidly obese as your weight loss therapist, but you also may not want, to go back to the triggering converse, you may not want someone who's like a size 2 because you're like, you don't get it, girl.
But I'm not, I'm not triggered by, you know what I mean? Like none of that for me. I'm just saying like, for me, certain things do like set me off and I go on rampages, which, you've seen in my texts. I need a therapist that's real. So Danielle's a therapist. And she doesn't listen to a fucking thing I say, #1. I came home last night and I had just done an interview with an old high school friend last night on a radio station, right? So I came home and I'm like, oh my God, talking to her brought back all these memories of like my childhood, because for me, it was like when she would say a name of somebody from when we were kids, I would like all these, for me, I'm old. I don't remember anything, but as I have conversations with friends, I remember, a lot of my past. And I was just going on and on. And I was just telling her about some of the craziest shit that ever happened to me when I was a kid that I totally like just forgot, like, I don't know, drugs. I don't know. But Denny, and I look over and she was sound asleep.
Did she fart?
No, she was asleep. I was like, bitch. This was probably like a therapy session. I was telling her like stories of things that happened that I was like, oh my God. And then I remembered this. And she was just like, these were good stories. Okay. These aren't stories that a bitch could fall asleep to.
I believe it.
In your opinion.
No, these were good. And I'm like, you are really asleep right now. Got some surprises to come.
All right. Can't wait to see them. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.